think beyond yourself is what I told this lady yesterday when she was telling me that she's healthy, she's fine. Coronavirus only killed only 4,000 people died out of the 100,000 or 120,000 people who got this. So why should we worry about it? And I was like, you need to think beyond yourself. First of all, 4,000 people. That's like 4,000 people who did not have to die, right? Every life matters, number one. Number two is, if she's taking it so casually, like, let me have her loved ones pass away and let's see how she feels. I will, that's just, way of life. So, but second thing is, more importantly, why I say think beyond yourself is because, look, chances are we are very healthy. We are in the peak state. We have nothing to worry about. It's people who are elderly, people who have, existing complications, or infants who have the most to lose. But the thing is, number one is, how do I know that my immune system is strong, that I'm not going to, if I contract coronavirus, then, I'll be fine? I do not know. Do I really want to find out by, contracting this thing and then figuring it out? That's one. Second thing is, I asked that lady, don't you have parents? I was like, I understand you are about, 30 some years old. So I'm sure you have parents who are about 50 plus or 60 plus. So what if you have it, you are fine, but you pass it on to your parents? Now what are we talking about? And she was like, It's like, yeah. So because it spreads from community to person to person, how do you know you don't have it, or you have it? It's just mild fever, but you are fine because your immune system is strong. But what if you pass on to your family, your parents? Or what if someone has a child in your family and that child, a year-old or 2-year-old child, gets it from you? What are you going to do about it, right? So think beyond yourself. A lot of people are chiding people for panicking. This is not panic. Dude, the thing is, I don't want to be the reason for, I get it and probably I'm healthy and I don't pass it on to someone. Great, because I don't have any health issues. Maybe my immune system is great. But what if my parents get it from me, or my children gets it from me, right? And they may not be able to, that lucky. And the second thing is, if you see how corona works, it attaches to your lungs and it multiplies there, and then it reduces the amount of oxygen in your blood, which basically causes your kidneys and other organs to fail. So now you end up in hospital, and you're going to be in the hospital for 2 weeks for supportive care. Imagine that the bill that's going to come to you, assuming you have health insurance, you're still going to get a bill, right? So why is it that, we need to be basically bold and say, oh, corona is not going to affect me? Even if it doesn't affect me, it may affect someone I know directly or indirectly, because I will probably pass it on. You really think countries like Italy or China get so much joy by shutting down their country, killing off their economy, creating jobs and recession just because they felt like it's like they were drinking one night and they're like, what, tomorrow morning I'm gonna just shut down my country and let's see what happens, right? It has consequences, and that's not an easy decision. People who are entrepreneurs know this is not an easy decision. The people who are actually, chiding, people who are laughing at other people for fearing, it's like, dude, you're not realizing. People in Italy woke up and they said, the country is shut down. And people who didn't stock up, people who didn't plan, someone says, if you don't plan, you're preparing. If you're not planning, then you're preparing to fail, planning to fail. Right? You wake up and it becomes Italy shut down. Now you don't have toilet paper, you don't have food. What are you going to do? And now you're going to go on social media and cry about it hey, look, God, oh, look, I don't have food. Help me, send me food. This is disgusting. God, help me. These are the same people who got on a cruise ship knowing, number one, cruise ships are known for, spreading of germs and diseases. Cruise ships are well known for that, even before Corona. And you have Corona outbreaks and you're getting on a cruise ship to go on vacation. Somebody has to give you an award for, whatever, your great common sense, right? And then you're going to be so who wants to be that person that you have family members, young children, and you are in the middle of the shutdown or whatever, quarantine, and you don't have food? What are you going to do, right? Now you're bitching about like, that, hey, we cannot find toilet paper or we cannot find water because we were not smart enough to stock up before. And now then what are you going to do? Bitch at the government? So again, guys, listen, this is not something I'm spreading fear. What I'm saying is think twice before you go back out, right? You do not know whether you have it or not. Especially, when you have people who are pregnant, or not people, but people, when you have a spouse or a family member who's pregnant, and if you catch the flu, you stay away because you don't want to pass on the flu to this pregnant lady, because when you are pregnant, you cannot take any medications. And then when you are pregnant, you cannot even cough, sneeze, and it hurts, right? So all you have to do is, and with Corona, you do not know, you have it until like 5 to 12 days later. And you're gonna pass it on to someone else who may not be as strong, as healthy, and like an ox. And so you need to think about it, right? And that's why, people are kind of quarantining, putting themselves in self-quarantine, or people are not moving outside unless it's necessary. It's not because people are enjoying changing their lifestyle. Companies like Amazon, Facebook, and all those things are not enjoying it because, they're like, oh, let's just have all my employees work from home. Cisco is not saying, oh, let's just work from home. Stanford, Harvard is not saying, let's just have online classes. It's because they are thinking way before you are doing. And these are people who does data predictions and data modeling more than you do, right? I mean, these are like realizers, because one person can get it, and then I could touch on 10 different I could be touching on 10 different things, and then it's just like 10 different persons handshake with 10 different people, and then what, they have it, and then they go with 10 other people, 100 people have it. It multiplies. So the best thing you can do is, I'm not saying start panicking. Yes, you will probably be surviving, but think about beyond you. Your like some people have cancer, right? Some people have cancer and their immune system is already low, right? You don't have it, but you're potentially going to shake hands with someone else who has a family member who has cancer. What are you going to do about it? How would you feel like, if that person gets coronavirus from you as a second step or a third step or a fourth step, and then that person dies? Like, if you feel shitty, then you should feel shitty because, you didn't take care of yourself. And if you don't feel shitty, that means you are like, you don't have any heart. So either way you go, no one wins. Like, I'm not enjoying it, like, being like, talking about this thing, but, I'm just like fed up with all these people with like, focused, limited knowledge, shallow knowledge, and laughing at people. No, dude, don't laugh. It's serious. We're like talking about other people's life. Like, it's just like, it's like, be thinkful, be thoughtful. There are people who are going to pass away. 4,000 people is a lot of people who didn't have to die. And the governments are trying to restrict it, kill this thing on the source. So, and there's no vaccine for it. So hopefully, this is something that's been bothering me. It's not because I'm trying to like, get fear control me, but at the same time, I'm not being like, it's just like, what would you call me if I was driving drunk every night? I know the number of mortality rates if I drive drunk every night is going to be very low. Chances of me crashing into someone or killing someone is going to be very low. Would you call me irresponsible? I mean, why is it going to be any different because you're not paying attention to Corona? I mean, it is something that may not kill me because God, knock on wood, maybe I'm healthy, but not everyone is healthy. I might give it to someone who is not as strong as I am. But that person is going to take it to someone else who's not as strong as someone else. And, it just doesn't matter. So hope that helps. Again, dude, no need to panic. Again, maybe, but, just be cautious. Don't go hang out. I mean, if you don't hang out in a bar or club or do your activity, large group travel for 2 months, your life is not going to come to an end. But remember, you might touch someone or you might pass it on to someone else who might not be living again in 14 days. That's the difference, right? In 14 days, someone may not be able to breathe anymore, or may be dying, or maybe ending up in a hospital, or someone elderly may have catch it and they may not have the best insurance. And in America, insurance is expensive, right? So they may not have the best insurance, and then what are you gonna do? It's all about thinking about others before we think about ourselves. I think that makes a huge difference of how we can probably combat. People are not, countries like Italy and China are not having a ball and blast because they shut down the economy, the whole country, right? It affects everyone. So that's all. Take care, stay safe, stay inside, and don't touch, even though I touch my face a lot of times, but it is what it is. It's easy to say, difficult to do, but the best thing I can do is I can stay indoors as much as I can, and not really go out and try to laugh at people who are preparing. I mean, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe everything's going to be fine tomorrow, but chances are the data doesn't predict. I mean, it's just like, I've been following a lot of people on the Silicon Valley and data modeling. It says that it's multiplying, it's doubling every 3 days, and you do the math, and that's in the US. Okay, take care, bye-bye.